Well, this was not just a diplomatic trip, it has turned into a political storm back home. Because while British Prime Minister Keir Starmer was shaking his hands in Beijing, lawmakers in London they were sharpening their attacks. And the accusation it was brutal. Has Britain gone cap in hands to China? In other words, is the United Kingdom begging for economic relief from the very country it once warned about? It's Times XP. I'm Dhriti Athri and let's unpack this. Picture the timing here. Britain is battling slow economic growth. Trade pressure are mounting. Businesses want access to bigger markets. And China, despite all the geopolitical tension, remains the world's second largest economy. So Starmer, he boarded a plane to China. The official reason? Rebuild trade channel, stabilize the relationship, protect British economic interest. On paper, it is perfectly logical diplomacy, but politics is never that simple because this particular visit, it collided with Starmer's past rhetoric. Not too long ago, British leaders, including voices within Labour, they spoke tough on China. There were warnings about spying concern, cyber threats, political interference, and strategic dependence as well. The message was clear here: be cautious with Beijing. And now the British Prime Minister is standing on the Chinese soil, talking cooperation. Now, to critics, that looks less like a strategy and more like a U turn. The backlash exploded inside the parliament during the heated session of Prime Minister's question. Opposition MPs they demanded answers. Why you soften the tone now? Why pursue deals with a country that Britain once described as a security challenge? And then came the phrase that dominated the headlines: cap in hand. Well, it's a centuries old expression amplifying desperation. Like a petitioner begging for a favor here. Political devastation because perception matters as much as policy. But the government pushed back, and that too really hard. With Starmer abroad, senior ministers they stepped in to defend the mission. Foreign Secretary David Lammy he argued something very important. Engagement is not surrender, it is strategy. He reminded the parliament that Britain is not acting alone. The United States engages with China, France engages with China, Germany engages with China. Even countries worry of Beijing. They understand one reality: you cannot isolate an economic giant. You must manage the relationship here, and here lies the modern geopolitical dilemma. China is simultaneously a major trading partner, a technological competitor, and a strategic rival, sometimes all at once. Now, this forces Western leaders into a very delicate balancing act. Protect national security, avoid economic damage, maintain diplomatic leverage. Too soft and you look weak. Too hard and you risk economic blowback. Starmer is walking that tightrope right now, but there was another spark that fueled the outrage. Just days before the trip, Britain approved plans linked to a massive new Chinese diplomatic complex in London, often referred to as a super embassy. Supporters call it reflects normal diplomatic expansion. Critics see something far more troubling. Security experts have warned such facilities could expand the intelligence operation. Opposition MPs asked very bluntly, are we opening the doors too wide? The optics, they were explosive. Approve a mega embassy, then fly to Beijing. It creates a narrative critics they could easily weaponize. So the question is, what is Starmer really trying to do? Step back and you look at Britain's strategic reality today. Post-Brexit, the UK has been searching aggressively for trade opportunities. Europe remains very important, but diversification is also very important. Asia is rising, supply chains are shifting, global growth is increasingly eastern. Ignoring China entirely, well, not an option for any serious economy, but embracing it without question, that is also risky. And this is why analysts describe today's China policy just with one word: pragmatic. Not friendship, not hostility, pragmatic. Talk where possible, compete where necessary, and confront where unavoidable. It is less ideological and more transactional, yet domestically, there's a lot of noise. Strong positions, but different perceptions. And Starmer is facing pressure on multiple fronts. Economic expectations are high, security anxieties are rising, political opponents. So every foreign visit becomes more than diplomacy. It becomes a test of leadership, a signal of national direction, well, a reflection of Britain's place in a rapidly changing world. So, in the end, here's a bigger question that few are asking very loudly. Is this really about China? Or is it about Britain redefining itself? Once the unquestioned pillar of Western power is now navigating a multipolar world where influence must be navigated and not assumed.